I'm normally very plot driven, which is why it's really funny when people hear this story and they go, "Oh, it's very character driven," because it really wasn't for initially for me. I give so much credit to people that can write a series and take a character and build the story around them. Every time I've tried to do that, I haven't exactly perfected that yet. So for me, it's the plot first, and then from there going, okay, what type of person would you know, be motivated to go down this rabbit hole? What sort of trauma do they have to suffer in their past that makes them think this is okay? And that's kind of how I go from there. I always say, sorry. So to give you an idea of what the story is about for the listeners is this is about a widow named Rose who is a dedicated mother to her 14-year-old son, James. She meets this guy, Grant, who sweeps her off her feet. And shortly after they get married, his mother, Evelyn, gets diagnosed with Parkinson's. And so he asked his new family if they'd be willing to move down to Palm Beach and take care of her. Now, the thing about Grant is he comes from a very generational, wealthy family. So Evelyn is the type of person that's used to getting her way. And she makes it very clear early on that she does not like Rose, does not think that she's good enough for her son, and will result in everything from bribery to blackmail in order to get her to see things her way. But Rose is a little tough, and she's comes from a rough background as well, so she's not given up so easily. And she starts doing some digging of her own and discovers that Grant's father passed away 20 years ago under suspicious circumstances. So she starts kind of looking into that. And then, of course, we have Isabel, who loses her grandmother, who is her only living relative. And while she's kind of going through her grandmother's stuff, she discovers this information about the Caldwell family and develops an obsession with them, following them from from New York to Palm Beach, and edges her way in as the son's tutor so that she can kind of come in and just blow up their worlds. It was really tough to kind of do because, like you said, because there's such a cliche there where you have like the tutor come in, like one of my concerns was people would pick it up and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, nanny trying to steal the husband." And it's like, it's anything but. But yeah, it's one of those things where, you really kind of try to focus on what's going to drive these characters. So Rose is, she's like a starving artist. She's a widow. She's trying to do the best she can for her 14-year-old son. She meets this great guy who also happens to be rich, and she goes, okay, our financial, issue is okay now, but now he's going to one of the best schools in the country, and I really want him to, find his place. I don't want him struggling, academically. So when this person comes up on the beach and introduces herself and says, "Oh, I just moved here from this school," and she's like, "Oh, my son went to that school." And she goes, "Yeah, I just moved here. I started this school. That's where my son goes." "Yeah, I'm offering tutoring." "Yes, please." She's got this eagerness to her that she wants to do the best she can because she knows this is a lot of changes for her son. He's lost his father. Now he's moving and leaving his friends, starting at a new school, a lot of insecurities there. So she's just trying to do her best for her. And then Isabel, with her personality, she, the one person she had in her life has died, and she's very alone and isolated, and she's just looking for her purpose in life. And, she discovers this secret and realizes that a lot of her situation is due to something that the Caldwell family did. And so she's going to, demand answers from them. My husband's like, "We need to go out and celebrate." I'm like, "I don't know. The kids have basketball. We've got like a hurricane coming." I was like, "Maybe I'll wait until I get the official deal. Like, this was just the offer memo." And he's like, "You need to enjoy those moments when they happen, because if you wait and wait, then you lose that excitement because you see the road ahead." So I was like, "Okay, fine." We took our kids to basketball practice, had a change of clothes for them, and we went to this French restaurant across the street from the rec center. And they already had like the shutters down, ready to go. And we're sitting there celebrating, and all of a sudden, this couple walks in, sits right next to us, and it's James Patterson. And I was like, okay, that's a little serendipitous. I've lived here for 6 years. I've never seen him once, and now he's sitting next to me. So that was kind of really exciting. And I initially lived in New York. I'm not one of those people that gets like, fangirl over someone, but like my husband's like kicking me under the table, like, "You should say something." Like, so I introduced myself to him and I was like, "Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you." And he's like, "Well, why are you?" I was like, "I swear I never would talk to you in a million years, but I just got a 3-book deal." And then like as soon as I like told him that, he was like, "Oh, well, with who?" And, "Oh, you're my competition," like jokingly. And he was really, really nice. And like I left that dinner on like such a high, like, okay, this is a good sign.